Make sure everything's on. Everything seems to be. I'm going to turn both things up a little bit, because I think my audio is a little low. The camera's on. This is on. Let's jump in. So, it has been a long time. Oh wait, I should actually, before I really get going. Dang it. Check out my cam. Make sure. Okay, I'm visible. It's been a long time since I played 14. A couple months. But like I said, I want to get 7 and Realm Reborn done before Slime Month. So it should only take a couple good streams, because the last time we played, back in like May, we got to Korthus. We got through Korthus, actually. Which means if you're using this to follow along, that we're 3/4 through the game. The game ends at level 50, and we would be like, if we were playing normally and not a new game plus, we'd be mid-40s. Low to mid-40s. So I did just a little bit of armor upgrading. Our poor adventurer still looks a little ridiculous. But here, let's get away from all this. He still looks a tad ridiculous. Also, I'm getting re-used to the controls, because since the last time I played, this will be the first time I've on screen. I do not have a PS5, but I bought a PS5 controller because I'm desperate. And this is the first time that I'll be using it. So with that, I think we'll just get started here. And heroes. Wait. I think this is fine. I don't know if it just didn't save or anything. Into the Eye of the Storm. Okay. Ah, yes. This is where we are. I believe there's 6 parts, so if we're only in part 4, maybe there is a couple of streams. Might have to sacrifice some Sly streams in September to finish this, because I do want a Realm Reborn finished. This project has been going on for longer than I would hope, because I do love this game, and the story is amazing, and I love playing through just the story on this. But one, I was kind of hoping to finish before Endwalker would come out. Or at least catch up to the story before Endwalker came out. And 2, Saturday mornings I wanted to make for other spin-off games. Like I wanted to play Typo and stuff on Saturday mornings. No, not trying to do that. Where am I trying to go? Alright. So yeah, the last time we left, we got Sid's airship, the Enterprise, back, and we're using it to go and battle Garuda, the wind primal, into the Eye of the Storm. It calms me to look at her. It's as though I've been reunited with a part of me I never knew was missing. Hardly surprising. You did design her and build her. I bear good news. The Seed Seers have granted our request to house the Enterprise. It may take as long as we require to repair her. Of course, it would be rank folly to take one moment more than we require. Garuda, lest we forget, grows stronger by the hour. If you are to have any hope of wresting this benighted realm for her talons, it must needs be soon. Though I am no expert on the workings of airships, it seems plain to me that the Enterprise suffered much of her time in the wilderness. Am I not correct, Sid? He gets more posh as it goes on. You are, frankly, it's a miracle she carried us this far. As you know, the Howling Eye is encircled by a raging tempest, apt to turn proud trees to matchwood. Our battle will end before it begins if the Enterprise cannot weather the storm. Given time, I believe I can fully repair her. But if this tempest is as fearsome as they say, even that may not be enough. Confounded. There must be a way to brave the fury of the elements. The elements? But of course, that's it. We'll work upon the element itself. Using the power of corrupted crystal, we could clear a path through the storm and spare the Enterprise a battering. I see. You propose to utilize the properties of crystal to alter the elemental aspects of the barrier. It seems so childishly simple in retrospect. Though mayhap not to you, Shadow, we speak of the manifestations of over-aspected aether that can be found throughout Eorzea. Since the calamity disrupted the land's aetheric currents, such crystals have become comparatively commonplace, which has been a cause of great woe, as they are known to warp aetheric energies, including those of living organisms. The point is, we could theoretically use a corrupted crystal to convert the wind-aspected aether compromising Garuda's barrier into aether of other aspect, one she cannot control. With certain modifications, the Enterprise could be able to deliver us to the Howling Eye in comfort, however hard Garuda blows. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. All of this rests upon our ability to procure a crystal with the necessary properties. Have you any idea where we might acquire one? No, but I know a man who might, a scholar by the name of Lambertient, who resides in Camp Drybone. Strange as it may sound, I met him during my time at the church. Well, Marcus met him, I suppose. Whether out of pity, or for want of more willing listener, he would talk to me for hours at a time about his aetheric studies, corrupted crystals being his pet project. It was a result of the conversation that poor Marcus was observed to possess an uncommon knack for theoretical science. Shadow, I need you to return to Thanalan and seek out this scholar. Sid and I will set about repairing the Enterprise in your absence. Aye, aye. So, to Camp Drybone we go. I was blind for a second. I am happy to be playing this again, though. Sorry, getting used to... There's some small button presses that are different. And the fact that it's been a couple months since played. Okay. Why yes, I am Professor Lambertant. Beg pardon. You wish to hear about my research on corrupted crystals? Truly? Well, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to discuss my work with a fellow man of science. Sealed with science. Ah. So rare it is to find fellow intellectuals in this region. 'Tis even rarer to find one capable of comprehending the nature of corrupted crystals. Come to think of it, there was another, a hermit to whom the church had given sanctuary. Curious fellow, unsociable, rather daft at first impression, yet possessed an amazing affinity towards the scientific pursuits. But to the matter at hand, did you say you wish not to conduct field observations but to harvest a corrupted crystal? Egads, man. At least take the necessary precautions so that you do not suffer from exposure to harmful energies. I'm beginning to wonder if you've sufficient qualities to handle such hazardous materials. Still, your ignorance is somewhat endearing. Luckily for you, I have precisely the means by which those inherent dangers may be averted. Simply store the crystal you seek within the warded pot to protect yourself from its deleterious effects, though suppose you will be bombarded with its energies until you place it within the vessel. Well, perhaps it shall motivate you to work quickly. In any case, take the pot to Hahasako, a student of mine monitoring the flow of aether at Highbridge. Explain to him your quest, and he shall instruct you in the finer points of crystal harvesting. While we're traveling over there, I will say that since the last time I have streamed, the big boom for 14 has happened, and I couldn't be happier. It's really cool that that 14 is getting so much recognition so long after its release. It's worth it. It got me, who doesn't like MMOs, to play it for 7 years, off and on. How many times must I be made to explain myself? I am not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I have chosen this precise location to perform scientific measurements. What do we have here? A containment vessel? Why, this is the handiwork of Professor Lambert. You thieving knave. I shall call for the... Oh, you see the man himself lent it to you. Then he must have sought me out per his instruction, which means he believes me experienced enough to expound upon his explanations. At last, the recognition I so rightfully deserve. This one is called with the utmost care. Oh, frabjous day, Kalu Kalay, that I should be chosen to guide this man. Yes, I, Haha Sako, greatest of Professor Lamberton's pupils, shall see that you successfully quarry your quarry. Your timing is impeccable, in fact, for I was just preparing to procure a corrupted crystal from the burning wall for my personal research. There, the devastating destruction caused by the calamity has blessed us with a bounty of sublime specimens. But something tells me that naught but a perfect peace will satisfy your high standards, in which case, you must needs descend to the deepest depths. Amidst the flowing waters and the murderous Muronites lies the most fantastic formation I have found thus far. Take this highly advanced researcher's tool and use it to separate a small fragment from the large cluster. Place it within the warded pot and bear it back to me for inspection. The path which leads from Burgundy Falls to the base of the burning wall is treacherous and terrifying, but advance with appropriate caution and you shall surely survive. Oh, this is a place where we haven't gone yet, so we'll walk. This is nice and peaceful. It's also my first time playing 14 with this new setup. Which I wish I could have the multi-screen up, but I still have not figured that out. I'm going to kind of use Sly Month as a test for that, so I don't have to keep on using just my phone with the stream on the edge here. That's a cool sight. Okay, so I forgot what enemies are here, but when I hear Muronites, yep, I think those from Final Fantasy XII. Okay, it's still down. And we'll cheat a little bit. That's a cool fishing spot. And I swear before Heaven's Word, I'm gonna try to see if there's a not a mode, an option to turn off mount music. Man, from this angle, it's... Camp Drybone is wide. I see you come galumphing back. Have you the crystal then? There's a fate going on, so this music does not match. Right. What a prodigiously large and lovely crystal. Professor Lambert will doubtless chortle with joy when you present it to him in person. Oh, and upon your return, do remember to recount how I helped you with your harvesting. Yeah, I swear I've seen more people, like, or everywhere, than I've seen in years, and it feels good. I walked to the wrong place, didn't I? I did. I'm supposed to walk in here. My keen scholar sense tells me you've obtained a crystal, or a corrupted crystal. Am I right? If you would grant me a moment to examine the crystal. Ah, it is as you desired. A corrupted crystal overflowing with wind aspected aether. Remind me, for what purpose did you intend to use this crystal again? What? To breach a barrier compromised of wind aspected aether? Oh dear. That may prove problematic, as this crystal would only serve to strengthen the barrier. I suppose I'm at fault for not inquiring as to your objective from the start. Had I known your intent, I would have never sent you to Hahasoka. But, what is science if not trial and error? And can you truly say that this failure has taught you nothing? Think, man. You now understand the methods necessary to safely collect a corrupted crystal. You will doubtlessly have no difficulty doing so once more. What's more, the crystal you collected can serve as an invaluable resource for the aerial studies conducted by the students of Baldessian. You've heard of them. Well, I don't mean to boast, but I have a professional relationship with the organization. Not as equals, of course. I would never be so bold as to claim that level of expertise. Are you alright? Your eyes seem to be glazed over for a moment. Anyway, I shan't keep you from your task. You've still a corrupted crystal to find. A promising prospect. Corrupted crystals of sufficient size and strength are not all that common, I fear. Fortunately, one of my other students, Sienna, claims to have discovered another promising site in eastern Lenosia. Wait, that's not correct. Eastern Lenosia was where she was nearly killed when wandering too close to an imperial castrum. Now that made for an amusing anecdote. It was western Lenosia, Pharaoh Sirius, on the Isles of Umbra, to be precise. I can't recall her exact reasoning. Something to do with one of Dalamud's talents or something such nonsense. What I can say for certain is that she is still in Aleport, attempting to gain access to the Isles. Why not travel there and see if Sienna's inquiries bear fruit? If you can look past the crass and violent ways of the local pirates, you might find your time there to be quite pleasurable. Oh, and do not forget to take your makeshift warded pot, lest she think you unprepared for the task. Okay. Airport it is. Wait, did she say ale or... Oh, never mind. Ah, corrupted crystals? Sir, I have no interest in being the butt of your jokes, so if you've no other reason for addressing me, kindly leave me be. Well, I'll be damned. Professor Lambert did send you. Beg your pardon. It seems we got off on the wrong foot. I'm Sienna, greatest of the professor's pupils, which is doubtlessly why he bid you seek me out. Indeed, I am an accomplished scholar with an extensive background in... Oh god, just listen to me prattle on and on. I must have given this introduction a dozen times by now. It's probably not pirates. As I told the professor in many missives, I believe that the area surrounding Pharaoh Sirius is replete with corrupted crystals of exceptional strength. Unfortunately, I have yet to test my hypothesis, as all access to the Isles of Umbra is prohibited at present, for reasons unknown to me. You see, my attempts to acquire this information are often met with annoyance and disdain. It's rather puzzling, since I always take the time to explain my motivations in great detail to the subjects of my questioning. Mayhap you'll have better luck wresting the information from these yellow jackets. I've all but given up at this point. Alright, so we gotta harass some officers here. Ah, you startled me. Don't you know better than to sneak up on a person at a time like this? What's with all this fatuous gossip of spirits and specters haunting the Isles of Umbra? Just because I know it's nonsense doesn't mean make it less frightening. Okay. Does not letting people in because it seems to be haunted. You're keen on traveling to the Isles of Umbra? Buddy else, lad. Are you drunk or just crazy? Ain't nothing there but death, death, and more death. Seems like a fine place. Okay, I see it over here, but it also... Ah, it's down there. The Isles of Umbra. Wonders have you in that god's forsaken place. Ever since we were forced to abandon fair Sirius, the Isles have become a not more than a graveyard for ships unable to navigate the shores, and a purgatory for the souls dragged down to the depths with them. Alright. So it be haunted. I love the absurdity of MMOs. Just watching a person fly by on a whale. Yeah, just process that. I think the fact this has been out for so long has kind of desensitized people to just how silly that is. Ah, Shadow, you've returned. Tell me of your findings. Really? Infested with the undead, you say? That is very, very interesting development. Excuse me for a moment while I gather my thoughts. Representing the representative. Worry not, my friend. I've given your findings some thought, and I've concluded that this talk of spirits is not more than local folklore. As for why all travel to the Isles of Umbra is restricted, well, mayhaps it's considered too dangerous, owing to the abandonment of Pharaoh Sirius. Yes, well, anyway, while you were questioning those yellow jackets, I paid a visit to the local pub, since even an esteemed scholar like myself enjoys dulling her wits on occasion. It was there that I heard tell of a man named Skyfrin, who was recently detained after returning from, wait for it, the Isles of Umbra. This is the first I've heard of someone actually traveling to and from there, so I'm curious as to how he obtained permission. Mind having a chat with him in my stead? He was arrested, after all, so I'm somewhat reticent to approach him myself. So I'm guessing, yeah, what's the dude that's in the jail here? I have to go back. She calls to me, sings to me. Tell Mimi Doa I'm sorry. Give him this. He was right. Or you could release me. Yes, release me. I will go and tell her. Let me go to her. Okay. So we're given a... Since there's no music here right now, I will take a shortcut. What did Skyfriend say? That's not terribly helpful. I couldn't care less of how much he misses his favorite bar wench. But what was that about a man named Mimidoa? Wait, I know that name. That's the bastard who grabbed my arse the other day at the pub. Well, if you want to give him the feather, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere near him and his wandering hands. Wow. And that dude just flew by on a flying nimbus. Another initiate, are you? Well, then what are ye? Speak up, son. I can't hear ye. Bugger me. Is that what I think it is? Nah, couldn't be. You found this, you say? Where'd you say you found it? Skyfriend, you say? Was hoping to have a word with the lad, but it sounds like there's not left twixt his ears. He was supposed to help patch up Pharaoh Sirius, he was. Company sent me to supervise a lot of them. Weren't getting work done on their own, see? Half of them walked off, half of them ran off, half of them up and vanished. What's that? You're looking for your passage to the Isle of Umbra? Why didn't you say so? I've been thinking of dispatching someone to look on behalf of old Mimidoa. Tell him how the land lies. Ain't nobody been interested till you came a-callin'. Whole port's up in arms about spirit and all forth. If I had the kill, I'd hired some sellswords and let 'em sort it out. But he'll do in a pinch, he will. Show this parchment to the skipper, and he'll send you there and back. Use this as super jump up there real quick. There we go. So you went and found and had a word with Mimidoa. I hope this valuable time you saw fit to waste amounted to something. You mean that disgusting creature was Skyfern's superior? I found that hard to believe, but this writ of passage does appear to be genuine, so it must be true. I must say, it is a relief to work with such an industrious man as you. I look forward to hearing of the discoveries you will make on the list on the Isles of Umbra, without me. The reluctant researcher. Fine, fine. I fail to see the justification for dragging me along on your journey, but if you insist, I'll go as well. But 12 is my witness. If you leave me behind to be devoured by some horrid abomination, I shall come back to haunt you. I'm wondering what's with the music glitch. The music keeps stopping. Oh, I didn't read that one. It was probably just something about going to the Isle of Umbra. This doesn't seem all that bad. I'm not saying I'd like to build a summer home here, but all the hell's with this. Here, take your pot and go on without me. You've harvested corrupted crystals before, right? So it isn't as though you require my assistance. Speak to the man guarding the gate. I'm sure he'll let you in. Now, if you would please excuse me. Beg your pardon, sir, but how'd you come here? Access to the island is currently restricted. An old pot. I'm not sure I follow. Oh, I see. You wish to harvest a corrupted crystal. Sorry, friend, but you may have to return empty-handed. Sweet somethings. The writ Master Mimidoa gave you may grant you access to the island, but only authorized personnel may proceed past this point. Why, you ask? Look up and see for yourself. When that giant master crystal struck the lighthouse, it caused severe damage to both the structure and the machinery within that once powered the beacon. Aye, contrary to what the small folk would have you believe, the fires of Pharaoh Sirius were not the product of magus thaumaturgy or a colossal arcane bomb, but an elaborate contraption fueled by aetherial energy. Repairs are still ongoing, but it's anyone's guess when they'll be complete. What's worse, all work has ceased since rumors of the Walking Dead drove off our entire crew. Not that those rumors are incorrect. I've observed the fiends from a distance at the ship graveyard to the south. What's drawn them to our shores is still a mystery, though. I'll make you a deal, Shadow. Help me unravel the mystery, and I'll bring you corrupted crystal. In fact, I shall begin searching for one that satisfies your requirements. As for where to begin, your inquiries into the situation, it so happens that a party of 3 adventurers came ashore not too long ago, seeking to scavenge the valuable trinkets at the ship graveyard. I'd be surprised if they knew nothing of the undead infestation, so it might behoove you to question them. Question them we shall. You saw them too, right? Dead people, just shambling about without a care in the world, except when they do seem to care, that is, and start shuffling towards the water. God's that voice, that single fleeting verse. I can still hear it. Stay clear of the southern shores, friend. It took every ounce of my strength to resist. Whoops. It's all there for the taking. 5 bleeding years worth of wreckage in their cargo. But those queer dead things and that voice. Actually, the voice was quite nice. This talk of an alluring voice is disturbingly familiar, as if... But that's impossible. They're all dead, aren't they? History repeating. But If they have returned, that would mean... Oh, beg your pardon. I was just, thinking about something. Which reminds me, I received word that Master Mimidoa would be arriving at any moment. Apparently he grew tired of waiting for the lanky young lag with the 1,000-yalm stare to return, which I'm assuming is you. I don't know what sort of arrangement you had, but you should probably go and explain yourself. What's been keeping you, initiate? I ain't getting any younger, you know. Eh? Some honey-voiced harlot's been calling out to folk that wander near the ship graveyard, and it stirred up the dead and all? Bloody hells, this takes me back to the days as a cannon boy stalling under old Mistbeard. But they wouldn't dare, would they? Not after the lesson we learned 'em last time. Bah, they bloody would, though, wouldn't they, brazen old biddies? Some folks said as the first purge would be the last, and I knew deep down in my bones that this day would come. And come it has. I'd bet me bum ear a silent siren behind all this. Nay, not one of the sanguine variety, initiate. I speak of the other kind. Them what's got feathers, and lure sailors to watery grave with their sweet, sweet song. Oh, but it don't end there. No, drowning's just a start. See, even in death, a man stays bound to the beast, forcing to do her bidding till the corpse can't do it no more. 'Tis a fate I wouldn't wish to me worst enemy, except maybe in drink, and I'd regret it after. Any road, 'tis up to us to stop this hell's-born hussy before she takes another soul. Of course, we can't send you marching off to war without these. The siren don't have no power over man that can't hear her song. 'Tis lucky for you I carry a spare pair, and lucky for both of us I'm superstitious, old sod, eh? Well, she ain't coming to us, so we best go to her. To the ship graveyard then, initiate. Initiate being short for initiate sounds like some kind of slur. If she passes near the shore, she's sure to spy the campfire and come looking. Just a matter of waiting now. I'm beginning to wonder if some sly bugger ain't spun us a yarn here. Quiet, did you hear that? 'Tis her! Look, out over the water. She's come, initiate. She's come! Quick, lad. Shove them plugs in your ears and get ready for a fight. As soon as she realizes you're deaf to her ditty, she'll call on her thralls, and we'll be up to our necks in corpses before you know it. Hither, embrace mine everything all. True love spurned, his cruelty's reward. Well, let me remember how to play for a second. I didn't even see that. Spare, mournful mistress. Distress. Why? You can barely see the AoEs in the water. Melody, last breath of death, the rhyme. Oh, that's a rhythm. Dost thou not to relent, regret, forever alone? My love, a river, one look, soul shiver. No. Oh my gosh. No more dark eclipse the heart. Alright, easy enough. Yeah, am I right? Ha, I'm better than that initiate. Happy as a sailor in a whorehouse I am. Of course I'll be happy with a sailor with 2 Watsits if we gutted the songstress, but you can't have everything, can you? She'll not come roon around here again, though. Not for a while, any road. And if she does, well, we know what to do, don't we? Thanks for the help. Bugger me, I've clean forgot your name. Remind me. Shadow? Don't recall having Onisha by that name. But if you're not me old mate, or whose name, why have you been so bloody helpful? And never mind, be seeing you, lad. Let me help you too. I probably messed that dude up. Which was not my intention. Has the number balance already happened? I guess not. That's not happening until Endwalker. The number crunch, I mean, not number balance. That's not what I want. You mean it was a siren? But how were you able to resist her song? I see. I had heard that Master Mimi Do was involved in the first purge, but I never actually... Having survived an ordeal like that, I can't blame him for carrying earplugs around with him. Anyway, I have something for you. The corrupted crystal you wanted, safely sealed within this pot, just as you requested. Please, take it with my compliments. Okay. Back to L-Port we go. Oh, it's you. Welcome back, Shadow. You're looking remarkably hale, I must say, and more importantly, alive. You are alive, aren't you? Ah, the conquering hero returns bearing a gift. Might I have a closer look? Impressive, very impressive indeed. Yes, I think you'll be quite pleased with the specimen. Congratulations, Shadow. Seldom if I ever have encountered a corrupted crystals compound of such a volatile overabundance of fire expected aether. What? You wanted a corrupted crystal composed of ice expected aether to contract the effects of the raging wind? Ah, uh-huh. Well, this specimen won't help you there. Anyone who knows anything about the elements could tell you that. We'll just have to keep looking, I suppose. The curious case of Giggity. Don't fret now. I know exactly where to find a corrupted crystal comprised of ice expected aether. An associate of mine in Gridania has been studying the effects of one such crystal on living beings. Eh? What's that expression? I thought you'd be pleased to hear this news. This is not another wild dodo chase, I assure you. And what's even better is that this time, you wouldn't use that warded pod of yours to protect yourself from the crystal's energies. Hidden findings suggest that it's quite safe. Why, you ask? Well, let's just say it has undergone a unique process that has rendered such precautions unnecessary. Anyway, do not let me keep you. It has been such a pleasure, Shadow. Come back and see me sometime, alright? The Curious Case of Giggity. This would be the time where if I had proper, Jeez, there's so many people here. This is excellent. It actually makes me happy. How just full everything is. Okay, here's Hayden. At least that's how I'm going to say his name. Greetings and salutations, Mr. Blyson, I presume. Sienna informed me of your adventures in Aleport. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding, though as Professor Lamberton is fond of saying, no action taken in the name of science is ever truly wasteful. To the matter in hand, corrupted crystals possessing the properties you seek could be found in abundance at the standing caress followed by the calamity. Alas, that is no longer the case. And while there's at least one suitable crystal that remains to be found within the Twelveswood, precisely where it is at any given moment, it's difficult to say. Permit me to explain. You are familiar with Spriggans, yes? The furry little rascals that want to seek out ores and other stones? Well, one such creature with an infamously insatiable appetite has single-handedly devoured every corrupted crystal in the Twelveswood. Fortunately for you, these crystals take an eternity to digest, assuming they can be digested, and I am reasonably confident that one still resides within his gut. It's quite fascinating, really. My theory is that the Giggity first consumed a corrupted crystal when... You couldn't care less about all this, could you? To the point, then. Giggity seldom makes his presence felt unless there is a particularly fine fodder to be had. Therefore, we shall require lure, and I have precisely the sort he will find impossible to resist. Simply place this true heart. I shall save the story of the origin of its unusual name for another occasion, outside of this brigand's lair, and wait for the opportune moment to pounce. As for the method by which you retrieve the crystal from his gut, I shall leave that to your discretion. Okay, where are we going? So the actual quickest way is actually just leave out of Gridania. Going this way to the Central Shroud. Okay, so then it's just a little bit to the east, west, that's west. I don't remember this part. I guess it has been a while since I've actually played Reborn, but I don't remember this. Alright. And I guess since we fell away, we'll fly out of here. Or I would if it wasn't dumb. We do not want to go to the North Shell, we want to go to Gridania. So... Ah, pray do not sneak up on me like that. I was engrossed in... Wait, what is that? What is that god's awful smell? My word, that is a breathtakingly beautiful crystal. I see my supposition was not mistaken. And I also see you weren't averse to digging through Spriggan entrails for your prize. We owe our furry friend a debt of gratitude, you know? That thick coating of digestive juices is protecting us from the harmful effects of the crystal, just as the warded pot you used once did. Why so glum, friend? You finally obtained the corrupted crystal you sought. One overflowing with earth-suspected aether. Calm down, I jest. It is compromised of ice-suspected aether, worry not. I suppose that joke was in poor taste, considering the 2 previous attempts were for naught. Better late than never. Beg your pardon, Shadow. I forgot to return the crystal to you. Oh, and there was a message for you from Professor Lambadin. Something about a man named Marquis? Apparently the professor misses the intellectual simulation. Forgive me, I should have written it down. It occurs to me that I've yet to ask you why you needed the crystal. You aren't planning anything nefarious, are you? It would reflect poorly on me and my research if it was used for evil ends. Ah, well perhaps it's best to remain ignorant. I didn't become the professor's greatest pupil by filling my head with unnecessary information. Okay, we actually are pretty close to... Yeah, we should have to teleport to the place now. All repairs and modifications have been completed, Shadow. Once you bring me that crystal, nothing will stand between us and Garuda. I'll need to run some tests to be sure, but this looks to be exactly what we needed. Worry not, Shadow. I see that your hard work doesn't go to waste. The Enterprise is already more than a common airship, but mark my words, soon it will become something greater, something extraordinary. This is me. This is what I was born to do. Lady of the Vortex. According to my test, the device is now functioning in perfect harmony with the crystal, meaning we can leave whenever you're ready. But you must understand, tests can only tell one so much. Until we approach the Howling Eye, until we attempt to breach the barrier itself, I cannot be sure that this will work. I think it only fair to tell you that this is a small but statistically significant chance that the crystal would trigger a massive... mayhap it better that we remain positive. Shadow, I want to thank you for reuniting me with my ship, for trusting in me to develop this plan, for everything. You've helped me to rediscover a part of myself I'd forgotten. I am not the man I once was, and I do not know if I ever will be. But I do know one thing. This feels right. My apologies for the sudden outpouring of the sediment. I would have waited until after the mission, but, well, you understand.
There. She's ready. she stirs. To Kurthus, and an audience with the Harpy Queen Garuda. Enterprise, engage.
Damn it. I once flew in this airship, and I was not alone. There were adventurers on board. Adventurers like you. Just how long have I worn these damn goggles? Yes, I fancied myself a trendsetter in my younger days. The young prodigy, admired by all, exactly like his father. Born and raised in Garlemald. It was only natural that the precocious young student should become an engineer. Had his father not done the same? Father, when did we stop seeing eye to eye? When did Meteor become your everything, and your loved ones cease to matter? You abandoned us all, but he was there for me, Father. There for me when you were not. Though he proved no better in the end. Gaius was just another man, with an all-consuming obsession. And so I ran, left the Empire behind and came to Eorzea, where I built the ironworks. Yes, it was then that I first donned these goggles. Eorzea opened my eyes. It was home to so many manner of people, each with their own hopes and dreams. People worth saving, and so I fought beside them. I wanted to prove that my knowledge could serve a nobler purpose. I wanted to prove that there was another way. And it all began that day when I found my new home. I had forgotten how wonderful it was. The wind in your hair, the endless sky. That light. It was you, wasn't it? It's surprising how few people know this, but all pureblood Garleans have a third eye. Perhaps mine helped me recognize you, or perhaps it was just a lucky guess. The Enterprise was made for this. To carry Eorzea's protectors into battle. I am proud to be able to call her my own.
Sid? What exactly do you remember?
Alphinaud, my boy. Sorry to have been such a burden. I remember everything. My name, my people, and my purpose. Everything. Come, it would be rude to keep Garuda waiting.
Alright, so we got some Sid lore. All our efforts, all our travels, all of it was for this. Make ready, Shadow, for the end is nigh, be it hers or your own. Alright, here we go, the final big primal for Realm Reborn. Who dares intrude upon my sanctuary? You insolents shall not go unpunished, landwalkers. 12 preserve. She's huge. As I live and breathe. Over there, look. Amalja and Kobold prisoners. But why would the Ixal bring them here? Wherefore come you hither, foolish mortals? Garuda, we're here to put an end to your reign of terror. Hear you this blasphemy, my children? These landwalkers would bring me low. You who are bound to crawl upon the earth shall revere me, for I am the wind. Did we not take to the skies and slip your defenses? We are bound by nothing, Garuda. You think your playthings give you strength? They will not help you, Landwalker. This is my realm, where none can challenge my supremacy. Struggle though you may, I shall slake the roots with your blood, and festoon the canopy with your entrails. Slay the unfeathered ones we shall. As an offering to Gerudo, they will serve. Leave the Ixal to us, Shadow. We will keep them distracted while you deal with her. Do not fail, Shadow. Remember, you fight for the Scions, for Eorzea. This worm would die by mine own hand. Come then, I shall grant you that which you seek. I don't know why I'm hiding. I can survive her fine. My power! No! What? How in the hells? This is my realm. You have no power here. None. Did you truly believe you could defy a god, Landwalkers? My power is limitless, my children legion, and they have rendered into me wealth of crystals. Their gift sustains me, their faith empowers me. None save my children will escape the reckoning, mortals, and those who would use my crystals to waken, the rest shall realize the folly of their faith. Then all shall worship none but me, the one true God. Of course, worship. As long as the Ix will keep praying, she will never fail. Then let's stop them. Ah! No harm will come to you, my children. This is only the beginning, Landwalkers. All who oppose me shall suffer to their defiance. Soon the worms of the forest shall receive my judgment. The desert vermin next. Their walls of stone will not shield them from the tempest. And then I will take vengeance upon the sea lice. Their wooden boats cannot outrun the wind. Tremble, mortals, for I shall visit you all in time, and all shall be mine. You, Landwalker, you who dare to raise their hand against me, you shall be the first to pay for your sins, not with your death, but with your life. You shall serve me, Landwalker, to your last breath. No, I claimed you. You should be mine. That's number 6. What are you? What have you done to me? No mortal should possess this much power. This is impossible.
Why do you not tremble at my might? Why do you not beg for mercy? Why do you not die?
We've done it!
Ah! Impossible it is!
Kill you all! Is that all? O Lady of the Vortex, O mighty Garuda, of all primals the most terrible, I say again, is that all?
Gaius!
Ah, Sid, my boy, you look well. For one who has forsaken kin and country, I wonder what else you will forsake before the day is done.
What?
What exactly did you hope to accomplish here this day? Well, I shall accomplish far more.
Is that all? Is that all? Insolent mortal! I shall make you suffer! That foul stench! I see now. She has touched you! Very well.
Seven hells, does she still mean to fight?
Our Lord of the Inferno Almighty, grant us succor in our hour of need.
Save us, Titan, Lord of Crags! It hurts us so! The pain! The pain!
What is she? 12 preserve. She cannot mean to... No, this is all wrong.
Stop gawping, boy. We must run.
Surrender yourselves unto me. I would feast upon your ether. None shall stand against the wind.
Bear witness to the glory of the Empire! It is you who will suffer, Garuda. Ancient Aleg had ways of dealing with your kind. Now, look on their ultimate weapon, Icon, and despair.
No! No! No!
Magnificent. It exceeds all expectation.
With each primal it consumes, it grows more powerful. A marvel, is it not?
Such is the fate of those who oppose the Empire. There will be no warriors of light to save you this time. If your leaders are as wise as they are reported, they will surrender. Your skills are impressive, but they will not be enough.
12, have mercy. What chance have we against such an ungodly creation? And who was that armored devil?
That was Gaius van Balsar, legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion and Supreme Commander of the Garlean invasion force in Eorzea.
Of course. The Black Wolf. How could I not realize? Grandfather mentions him in his journal.
I was never so naive as to think the man would abandon his ambitions. But these developments are beyond my worst expectations. What have you been doing these past 5 years? How could something of this magnitude have escaped the Alliance's attention?
We heard no whispers, saw no signs. In the wake of the calamity, the Empire seized land and built outposts, but that was the extent of their aggression.
Damn it, Gaius. Where in the seven hells did you find that thing?
It has been a day of unexpected developments, but the fact remains, Garuda is no longer a threat. While I take no comfort in the manner of her downfall, it does mean that we may safely put the matter of the primals to one side. For the time being, at least.
Which just leaves the matter of Gaius's new toy.
Indeed. That weapon poses the greatest threat to Eorzea. It must be destroyed. But first, we must needs find out all we can. Let us make for Vesper Bay. We shall rebuild the Scions. All is not yet lost, my friend. For we bear the light, and shall surely lead our people from the darkness.
Alright, so that was a little setup to the end. The final stretch here. Well, that was an experience I would rather never have again. Something has been troubling me, Shadow. Shortly before the Black Wolf took center stage, when Garuda attempted to claim you as her own, I could have sworn I saw... but I'm sure I was mistaken. In times of great stress, the evidence of the eye is apt to be misread by even the most inquiring mind. Forget I mentioned it. Returning to the subject of our earlier discussion, we may consider the matter of the primals closed until further notice. No beast tribe will dare summon their god so long as the weapon exists. Truly, a more effective deterrent I could not imagine. It almost seems a shame to plot its destruction. Reclamation. It is past time that we return to the Waking Sands. To leave our headquarters in disrepair any longer would be a dishonor to the memory of those who fell there. We have been brought to our knees, but we will, lest, rebuild and rise once more. So, pray. Oh my gosh, can I get it right? Return to the Waking Sands. Everybody's prey returning to the Waking Sands. Tell me, Shadow, does aught here strike you as odd? I see signs of recent habitation. Could it be that we are trespassers? Or we have trespassers? Maybe it's just my imagination. Come, let's proceed to the solar. Wait. Who goes there? Now, Yida. Is that any way to treat an old friend? Alpino, Shadow. Sid. Wait, is this a dream? Not that I'm aware of. It's been a while, Yida. I don't believe it. I was sure you'd been... This place has seen better days. You know, I wasn't actually here when... I was still in the talks at the Adder's Nest. The first I knew about it was when I came back and I saw... Ida. The church had taken care of the bodies, but that still left the stains. It was hard to know where to start. If Y'shtola hadn't been here to help me. Y'shtola's here too? Yes, but she's not here right now. She's gone to Old Da to meet a man who might know what happened to the others. Papalimo and Memphilia weren't among the dead, according to the church. Y'shtola thinks they've been taken somewhere. Upon the orders of the Black Wolf, no doubt. Why would he want them? Because they possess something he desires. Knowledge of another power that can be brought to bear against the primals. One that Gaius is yet to harness. The Echo. Gaius will be aware of its existence, as well as the immunity it grants to the gifted to the primal's influence. Powerful though his Allegan weapon may be, he would doubtless desire such protection. He means to use Memphilia to gain an understanding of the Echo. None of which explains how the Empire came to know the location of the Waking Sands in the first place. No matter. The Empire has shown its hand, and now we must act. It is up to us to rebuild the Scions and save Eorzea. Can I count on you, Ida? What? Oh yes, of course. Whatever you need. We can discuss our next move upon Y'shtola's return. For now, I say, we rest.
Hear, feel, think. Bringer of light, brave gatherer of the crystals, thy soul burneth bright. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. Hearken unto me now, for the darkness doth begin to spread. Wear thee the bearer of the crimson brand, for he is the avatar of shadow, whom death attendeth always. The crystals shall be thy salvation, thy blade and shield both. Steel thyself, for at the appointed hour thou shalt stare into the heart of darkness. Go with caution, my child. But fear not, for I am ever with thee.
Y'shtola. Shadow, I see you and Alphino are safe. And Sid. That we five should meet each other thus defies simple explanation. It is as if the benevolent hand of Master Louis Soir guides us still. He would not see us undone so easily, not now, when the need is so great. I know where Memphilia and the others are being held. Where? An imperial stronghold in the heart of Mordona, Castrum Sentry. I would have sworn it was going to end there. Part 4, I mean. Casing the Castrum. The rescue of our allies will be no small undertaking, Shadow. Even under normal circumstances, breaching the defenses of an Imperial Castrum would be a highly dangerous proposition. But now that Castrum Sentry houses prisoners whom the Garleans deem valuable, we may be confident that they have taken additional measures to ensure the stronghold's security. If we are to free our friends, we will require an effective strategy, and if we are to formulate an effective strategy, we will require intelligence. I believe I know a man who may be able to assist us in this. Lord Portelaine of House Durandare. He is stationed at the Observatorium in Corythus. Let us go there, beseech him. Okay, and I'm about to fast travel to this. I want this stream to keep going, but I really have to go to the restroom, so I'm going to switch over for a sec. Okay, so I'm back. Everything seems to be okay. Wait, I do want to check to see if, okay, yep, everything's fine. Except for the fact that the music won't loop. I still don't know why that's happening. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming or if it's a PC thing. Yeah, but in calmer places, it won't loop, and it's real annoying. Every time I fly over here, I really don't miss how in 2.0 the walk from just that seemed like torture. Ah, Shadow, the man who unmasked the heretic in our midst. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? You were an associate of Ishtola, but of course, Lord Drillamont confides to me that you were a scion of the Seventh Dawn. Castrum Sentry. What interest have you in the Imperials? They hold several of our number, whom we intend to free. Any information you can provide would be greatly appreciated. I see. That might explain our scouts' reports. They observed 4 prisoners being led to the castrum, a Hurrian woman, an Elizan man, and 2 Lalafels, 1 male, 1 female. It's them. It has to be. Minfilia, Urianger, Papalimo, and Tataru. If that scant morsel is of use to you, you may be interested to hear about a more recent incident. An Imperial airship made an emergency landing here in Korthus not long ago. 2 men believed to be prisoners, Erogadon and Lalafel, were seen fleeing the craft. What did you say? Erogadon and Lalafel, Master Garland. Neither were Imperial dress, and both seemed disinclined to wait for rescue, hence our assumption that they were prisoners. Well, I'll be damned. It's Biggs and Wedge. Trust those 2 rascals to escape? We must find them, Shadow, and soon. The Imperials will not rest until they have captured or killed, and if Biggs given the choice, I fear he'd take the latter. Freeing those held in Castrum Sentry will require substantial planning and preparation. As such, it is an endeavor that will admit some slight delay. The matter of the escapees, by contrast, will not. Shortly after the prisoners vacated the ship, our scouts observed Imperial troops setting off in a pursuit. It is likely only a matter of time before they catch them. If you wish to see your comrades again, you'd best act now. If, as has been suggested, the Garlands took our fellow Scion prisoners in hopes of understanding the Echo, it seems reasonable to assume that they will not be executed until such time as the study is complete. But Biggs and Wedge are not Scions, nor do they know anything about the Echo. As Lord Portelaine said, they may prove our only chance to rescue them. I say we seize it. Thank you, everyone. You won't regret this. Final preparations are almost complete, my lord. There stands the culmination of 5 long years of painstaking work, but all our efforts will be vindicated when the Emperor's vision becomes reality. At last, we have the power to purge this land of its false gods. We shall give the ignorant children of Eorzea the security and stability they so desperately crave, and which their spineless leaders have so palpably failed to provide. As you say, my lord, rest assured our engineers will not rest until the weapon is fully armed and operational. Ratatin, you depart for Castrum Alcidens at midnight. You will command the western front in Vilbrand. The Eorzeans will attempt to interfere with our plan. You will see that they do not. My lord, if this be your will, I shall carry it out to the best of my ability. I live only to serve the Empire. Yet, forgive my impudence, but is it proper to give command of half our forces to a... I have given you nothing, Perfectus. You have earned it. You will be all... That will be all. Dismissed. Yes, my lord. My quarters. 1 hour. Eyes on the Empire. My purpose here is to reconnoiter Garlean activity along Abathia Spine. Owing to this, I have the honor of being acquainted with Y'shtola. Now, the report of the Imperial airship's emergency landing came to us by way of Desmel Darkhold, situated to the west. Our man stationed at the entrance, a knight named Bryselt, may be able to tell you more. So as to expedite your mission, I shall furnish you with a letter of introduction. I pray that you will soon be reunited with your comrades. May the Fury grant you strength. It's not that much of a walk, but I really was wanting to get part 4 and some of part 5 done today. So I'm gonna take some shortcuts here. You stand before Desmel Darkhold, the subterranean fortress excavated by the great Ishgardian house of the same name. None but authorized personnel may enter. A letter from Lord Pontamane. So you have come about the Imperial airship. According to our scouts, the vessel has scarce touched the ground when a pair of men, captives by all accounts, burst forth and bolted. Imperial soldiers have since been sighted in the area, seeking to recapture them. What? The captors are likely to be friends, you say? And let us pray that they are yet a step ahead of their pursuers. The emergency landing reportedly took place near the Aurum Vale, situated south and west of here. I suggest you take your search there. Seek out a knight named Paramons. He should be able to assist you. Unfortunately, the only dungeons that we really have left are 2 of the most dreaded ones in the Realm Reborn. Not necessarily that they're bad. Aurum Vale has a reputation. The Imperial airship. Aye, I saw it approach land with my own 2 eyes. I hastened to the landing site, arriving just in time to see the vessel take to the skies again, but not before it had deployed a detachment of troops. Gruff orders have been barked, and there was an air of consternation about them. Footprints in the snow. There were prisoners aboard the airship, it seems, and they seized the opportunity to flee when the vessel was forced to land. The Garleans who were deployed formed search parties and proceeded to scour the wilderness. In order to alert our forces, I returned to my post, to find evidence that someone had been here in my absence. Whoever they were, they tried the door to no avail and decided to go elsewhere. In all, I marked 2 sets of footprints, one large and one small. If you search the area, mayhap you'll be able to follow the footprints to their owners. I actually now don't remember if the Aurum Vale is required or not. Is that a flying T-Rex? I did not know that was a mount. Is that a newer one? so cold. I will want to go home. Ah! But please don't eat me. I'm not nearly as succulent as I look. It's all skin and bones underneath, I swear. Shadow, it's you. Thank goodness you're here. It's been awful. The Guardians were snapping at our heels like a hungry pack of wolves. I was so hell's-bent on evading him, I almost ran headlong into a monster's gaping maw thrice. And when I finally found cover, it hit me how cold and hungry I was. But Biggs, he isn't here. He went off in a different direction to lure our pursuers away. It's me, Sid. Have you had any success? Tracked down Wedge? What wonderful news. Now, what of Biggs? I see. Well, it hardly surprises me that the big fellow went off as he did. For all the tongue lashings he gives Wedge, he's always taken care of him. I've scoured the area around the Darkhold, but I've nothing to show for it. At any rate, we know for a fact Biggs headed west. With both Yida and Y'shtola helping out, I'm sure he'll turn up soon. Now then, I'll make way over to the position while keeping an eye out for Biggs. If memory serves, there should be an Ishgardian fortification not far to your west. Monument Tower, I believe it's called. Let us meet there. Dare I hope... Was that Master Garland you spoke with? After 5 long years, thank goodness he's still alive. I'm feeling better now, Shadow. Let's go to Monument Tower and wait for the chief to arrive. It's an ominous pair of wings in the background there. I feel like I've missed out on a great portion of this game because of the fact that I've never grinded for one of the ponies. Well met and welcome, adventurer. What brings you to this frozen corner of the realm? Oh, it would seem your companion has caught a chill. Come and warm yourselves by the fire. I will bring you hot broth. How are you feeling now, then? Stay here as long as you need. The same goes for you, friend. 'Tis plain you have had a hard journey ahead of you. You must find rest when you can. Monumental hopes. I'm fine now, thanks to you, but I can't bear to think that Biggs is still out alone in the cold, with Garland on his heels. He lured the enemy away for my sake, and now he's suffering for it. I hate to have to rely on you again, Shadow, but do you think you could search for Biggs? I haven't the slightest notion where he might be at the moment, but maybe, just maybe, the people here have seen something. A Rogadan gentleman dressed in the same manner as your companion. I'm sorry, but he did not come by here. Let me think a moment. I would not raise your hopes in dully, but there is a cave situated a short distance to the south. We call it the Fury's Gaze, and it may be worthwhile to investigate. I make the suggestion only because your friend seems like a selfless sort. Rather than drawing the enemy to this tower, mayhap he elected to pass us by. I'm sitting here really hoping that the music okay, never mind. I guess it is just my version of the game problem and not a streaming problem. It's a pretty little spot. Shadow, were you able to learn anything? Not in this area. Well, that stands to reason, I suppose, seeing as though he was trying to lure the Garleans away from me. But then where in this vast sea of snow and ice could he be? Notorious... I'm gonna say Notorious B-I-G-G-S. We can't give up, Shadow. We must find Biggs before he succumbs to the cold or is recaptured. There must be someone in this tower who can help us, even if it's only to tell us where else to look. Ask them for me. Ask anyone who will listen, and hurry. Biggs' chances of surviving grow slimmer by the moment. Okay, so now we're ascending. Your friend is lost in the wilderness, you say? If he's not to be found around here in the vicinity of the Darkhold, it is possible he made for Whitebrim. To reach it, one must travel through Denifin Pass, the southern end of which lies to the north and east of here. While I make no guarantee that your search will bear fruit, it is surely better than worrying in idleness. Oh, and one more thing. Do tread warily when climbing the stairs here. Not a moon ago, I broke my neck when I slipped and took a tumble. I will not use such caution. Because we're the frickin' Warrior Light. Our orders are to take you back, dead or alive. Which will it be, engineer? Why don't you come and find out, Tinhead? Ah, Shadow. It is well that you were here. The situation is grave. Biggs is in a bad way. We need to do something right now. Ida has the right of it. He will perish if we delay. With me! He's not alone. Kill them all. I don't have tank stance on, but I'm sure it'd be fine. This is a lot of security for an engineer. My thanks. Another moment, and I would have... He's been too long in the cold. We must find shelter for him. Monument Tower, you say? Very well. Ida and I shall bear him there with all haste. Sid will be so happy to see Biggs and Wedge again. Oh, I love reunions. I always found those lights in the distance haunting. I cannot thank you enough, Shadow, and the same goes for the rest of you. Thank you all so much. Oh, don't mention it. We are a family, are we not? Well, yes. It's just I didn't think I ever see him again. I owe the lot of you my life, and you saved Wedges too, Shadow. I'm losing count of how many times I owe you. Biggs, Wedge, God, it's good to have the two of you again. Chief, it's you. It's really you. In our hearts, we knew you were still alive, but to finally see you in the flesh. When Alphonso told me of the raid on the Waking Sands, I feared the worst. What happened? The enemy struck with nary a warning. We didn't stand a chance. Wedge and I were in the workshop when they came. Before we knew what was happening, the Imperials had us at gunpoint. It must have been awful. There's one thing I don't understand, though. How did the Garleans get there so fast? I mean, the Immortal Flame should have seen them coming, right? I myself have asked the same question. That day, when I was returned to the carnage of the Waking Sands, I noted not a miss in horizon, nothing at all to suggest the passing of an Imperial force. From this, I conclude that the Garleans came neither by land nor by air. Nay, they were born there by the potent teleportation magics of the kind used by the Ashians. Carry on. We were bound and blindfolded and bundled into the cargo bay of a waiting airship. I can't rightly say how long we were aboard, but when the time came for us to disembark, we found ourselves in the midst of an Imperial stronghold, Castrum Sentry. Upon arrival, we were marched off to the main complex. Biggs and I were thrown into a detainment cell together, while Memphilia and the others were taken elsewhere. That was the last we heard from them. Castrum Sentry. What happened next? Well, we were held in isolation for what felt like years, but was probably moons, or maybe only weeks. But then, without warning, the Imperials collected the pair of us and put us into another vessel, and we found out that we were bound for Garlemald. Much to our dread, we knew that if we were taken back there, we weren't going to leave again. So, risky though it was, we sabotaged the ship's altitude control and thereby forced an emergency landing, and in the midst of the ensuing chaos, we managed to slip our captors. The rest, as they say, is history. Ha! If I didn't know any better, I'd call that a likely story, sabotaging the altitude controls of an airborne vessel. That would have been Biggs' handiwork, like as not. You always were resourceful in a tight spot, my friend. Shadow, thank you for returning my dear assistance to me. It would seem I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. There are still many questions in my mind, but the answers can wait. Memphilia and the others will want for rescue. Alright, you lot. Garland Ironworks is back in business. Let's go and give the Imperials what for. Hurrah. Chapter 4 is still going on. Sid wants to prepare a strategy. Oh, whoops, read the wrong thing. Come into my castrum. Thanks to you, Biggs and Wedge are with us again. Now we must find a way to rescue Memphilia and the others. Gods know we've kept them waiting too long already. Based on what we've learned, I believe it's safe to say they're being held at Castrum Sentry. So let us convene at Revenant's Toll in Mordona. 'Tis as safe a place as any to prepare, and better than most. The road leading east, then south, will get you there. When we arrive, let us seek the advice of the local adventurers. We're bound to learn a thing or two that will benefit our mission. So, and because it's our first official trip to Mordona... Hold up. Yeah. We will walk. It's not that far. It's a bit of a walk in this gloomy snow, but it's not far. This is one of the final times we'll see Korthos in this playthrough. Uh-oh. So it seems that I'm being forced to end here. Because my internet has gone off. It still's recording, so if you're watching this later, it's what happened. That's the cause for the random stop. So, I guess I'll stay awesome. I'll see you guys later.